Welcome to U.S. Maritime Action. Today we're going to do a quick satellite tour of shipbuilding in the United States and just get a brief understanding of, where ships are produced in the U.S. and where these yards and what types of yards we have here in the States. Okay, starting out, we have this overview of the United States. The Mississippi and other inland river waterway systems are highlighted there in light blue. We'll just zoom in here to the first shipyard, GD Bath Iron Works. General Dynamics Yard does destroyers primarily. I don't know what other types of ships they've done recently, but primarily destroyers for the U.S. Navy. More General Dynamics yards doing submarines for the U.S. Navy. Not much going on in New York. Not much else in Baltimore. There's Hanwha Philly Shipyard. So Hanwha has been doing the multi-mission vessels for the Maritime academies and also I believe deep sea rock laying for Great Lakes Dredge. And for those of you that don't know, it's just in the last year or so that Hanwha Philly Shipyard was purchased by the Korean parent company Hanwha Ocean. There's Chesapeake Shipbuilding doing smaller sized cruise ships and some ferries. And of course, Newport News Shipbuilding, one of the most famous shipyards in the United States. They construct aircraft carriers and submarines for the U.S. Navy. There's the rest of the Norfolk Naval Area. So we have Detyen's Shipyards, not a super well-known yard, but they do have a pretty impressive repair operation going on and a few new builds too, I believe. So here we have Eastern Shipbuilding in Panama City, Florida. They had the Heritage class cutter contract that I believe is just on pause, but it may have been canceled. Hopefully just on pause. Whoops, went to Oceaneering there. Okay, so back to Eastern Shipbuilding. They have 2 yards here. And looks like some tug and maybe offshore boat action. Not sure if this is a future dry dock or what is going on there. So here we have Austal, known for their Independence class littoral combat ships. Pretty futuristic looking ship, made out of aluminum, very fast. And now they're also doing the Spearhead fast transport vessel, and then I believe they will take on part of the Heritage security cutter and even some submarine module work. So pretty varied work there. Ingalls down here in Pascagoula, Mississippi, doing destroyer work, amphibious work, Coast Guard cutters. Also got Bollinger yards. They have a number of yards, as we'll see here in a minute. They are doing the Polar Security Cutter. It's a big billion-dollar contract. They are, to no fault of their own, just starting, and it's already 6 years behind schedule. That'll be interesting. Some of Bollinger's other yards here in Louisiana. A handful of others, Conrad, CNC Marine. I'll go back up here, just highlight one of the bigger barge building operations, Heartland Fabrication. Not all people realize that this waterway connects to the Mississippi, and Heartland is one of the biggest barge manufacturers in the United States, cranking out a barge about every other day. It's basically a barge assembly line. Up here in Erie, Pennsylvania, we have Don John Shipbuilding doing, I believe, mostly Laker repair. You can see they have a pretty long dry dock. Don't think they've had much new construction recently. And Fincantieri Marine, so like Austell doing the littoral combat ships, but the Freedom class monohulls. Pretty cool ship, very fast. Not very deadly. This is their repair facility, also owned by Fincantieri, Italian parent company, as the name would suggest. See Houston. No big shipbuilders in Houston, which is kind of surprising given it's an oil and gas export hub, but tons of barges, a number of barge builders. You can see ships, pretty active port and water trading area here in Houston. And finally to the west coast, here we have General Dynamics NASSCO, which does the expeditionary sea bases and the auxiliary oilers, the TAO John Lewis class. Not much left going on in San Francisco, formerly a decent shipbuilding hub, just some Coast Guard ship repair up here in the Mare Island area. And here we are working up the coast to Portland, Oregon, where they have Vigor Shipbuilding. I think there's also a Vigor in Vancouver, Washington. And we'll see up here another Vigor in Seattle. And finally, yet another Vigor shipyard here up in Ketchikan. Pretty small yard, I think mostly around repair, probably of fishing vessels and what have you. And yeah, that's pretty much the gist of U.S. shipbuilding. Thanks for tuning in to this episode on U.S. maritime action. Wait, I forgot about Hawaii, so let's do that real quick too. So here we have Hawaii, and really the big hub is Honolulu, where there's a military base and a lot of ship repair goes on. That's pretty much it for Hawaii. And just since we're out here, also note Guam and the Northern Mariana Islands in our territory and very much a part of our ocean connection.